Thank you for listening to Comics for Fun and Profit, episode number 526 for comics originally releasing. What are we on? August 21st, 2019. Before Drew and I get into what's coming into your local comic shops this coming Wednesday. Drew, what else do we got in the world of comics and what's going on? Have we heard anything from our listeners?
We have. Wade Ledden writes in and he says, "Hey, guys, Gibbon was in ASM The Hunted that came out this spring. We had talked about that in a previous hot-selling book for his first appearance. So
we were quite confused and quite bewildered and quite, what?
Yeah, who is this and where did this person come from and why do we care?
Yeah.
And he said, and hey, why do people still care about New 52 Batgirl number 40, the Purple Rain variant? I just sold mine for $40 plus shipping. I think it's been hot ever since, because I think the timing of it coming out and Prince dying were pretty close together.
A really cool looking cover too.
It's a great cover, and it just hit a couple of different audiences. So the demand outweighed the supply, and always has on that issue. So I assume that's it. I don't think there's any other reason for it to spike again. I think that's about, it's just like a steadily rising comic.
Yeah.
And it's probably always going to be a sought after one. I
still have it sitting in my full run of movie cover variants.
Oh, you never broke it up?
It's still sitting there, including that quote unquote death of the Joker in there and everything. So.
Oh, that's going to be interesting. What do you think you can get for that?
I don't know. I'm not sure what I can do for the whole run, because those are the only two books that have real value in it. Other than just niche things that people are like, oh, I like Lost Boys, maybe I'd like this Teen Titans cover and stuff like that. But of course, like I said, it's got the Purple Rain and it's got the variant.
Is it worth your time to try to sell it as a lot first, and if it doesn't sell, break it up?
I don't want to have the others just lying around for any reason.
So you will only sell it as a lot.
Yeah.
So they must pay a premium to take the others off your hands.
I mean, someone's got to want all the movie theater variants. Or the movie poster variants.
Yeah.
That's a cool thing.
Yeah, they should.
And they're all perfect. Yeah. So, I mean, that was my plan when I picked them up originally, and I just haven't done anything with them. I did the same thing with the selfie variants. That one crashed and burned, I'm imagining.
Yeah, that's true. That didn't take off like we thought it would.
No.
Let's see. Michael Lamb says, Drew is on fire the last 2 weeks. You're not kidding. I have a hell of a fever right now. Dead End Kids is a $20 book already. And,
nice.
And Once and Future King is a $12 book. Well,
wait, why are you giving Drew credit on that one? Why is Drew getting any credit on that one?
Once and Future King is not my choice. That's definitely a Kyle pick. So you're only half right, Michael.
There you go.
He probably did it on purpose.
He probably did. Just poke.
Yep.
As long as he didn't say C4 FAP is on fire.
Yeah, that's true. Cal wants to know which medium tells superhero stories the best. Comics, or movies, or TV?
Oh. I mean, you can't really argue with Marvel movies at the moment. They tell a great story and everybody seems to be engrossing, and they were able to tell a giant 26 movie opus.
Yeah. And Walking Dead tells a hell of a TV. Well, that's not superhero. That's not a superhero story. I'm sorry.
I mean, Flash season 1 was amazing. Arrow season 1 was amazing.
I think movies do a better job than TV for sure.
Mm-hmm. Comics, but I mean,
comics. I mean, how can you argue against comics? I mean, if you only have one, would you rather have comics, superhero stories like we've always had, or would you like the current having movies? I think movies, probably.
In my lazy old age,
being
able to watch and just something to got me too. Man, but I love comic storytelling.
Yeah,
I love the drawn art form.
Yeah, and I mean that's where they come from. I think it's got to be comics. Movies number 2, and TV comes in last.
TV pulling up last? Wow.
Don't you think? I mean. What superhero TV show? I mean, all the CW ones are kind of boring now, I think.
No, but they all had like great seasons. If you look at Flash season 1, You're like, that was awesome. If you look at
Yep.
Arrow before it
Yep.
became a
Yep.
love story,
Yep.
it was great.
Yep.
If you look at Supergirl before it became, Super SJW, it was great. I mean, they couldn't survive and last, but they all, if you look at them as like a giant, the story they told within a season, I think they were great. But
guess.
I can't supplant movies. Even saying that.
Yeah, and comics go through runs too, where it's like, oh, this is the worst run of whatever character ever, and
yeah,
in comics, and so TV should be afforded that right. They have great seasons and bad seasons.
There you go. And you look at things like Doomsday Clock, you're like, man, they're telling a great story, but it took 2.5 years.
This is a question that we can't answer very well.
No, our official rank is comics, movies, TV.
Unanimously.
Yep.
But it's hard.
But each has their own, things.
Yeah.
And Disney Plus coming out with a 6-episode, 8-episode format of some of these shows may completely turn this on its tail.
Yeah, because I think 6 to 8 episodes is where it's the sweet spot, man.
Most definitely.
You can't screw that up. No filler.
Mm-hmm. Because normally I complain about things that are like 12 episodes and 10. You normally get a few filler scenes. But like Stranger Things, I just not necessarily comic, but kind of in the same vein. The third season of Stranger Things, I didn't think had much filler at all, and it was, I think, 10 episodes.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Jeff asked kind of a similar question. He says, when you factor in all formats of medium, which superhero is the most popular? So I guess if you factor out all the TV shows, all the movies, all the comics, which superhero is the most popular?
It's still Batman.
Is it still Batman? I was
yeah.
gonna say maybe it is Spider-Man now.
I mean, also you got to look at like the direct to DVD animated market that DC has a really good hold on.
Owns that. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, Batman's just the guy. Video games, Batman has a pretty good hold on. Spider-Man just came out with a good game, but it doesn't touch the Arkham trilogy in my mind as far as that medium's concerned and where superheroes fall.
Yeah, now that you mention it, it's really not even close.
Yeah, so I've got Bruce Wayne and the Bat.
By a mile, number one with a bullet, and
yeah. And if you just look like my children's clothing, like they've all got a Batman. Some have Spider-Man. There's other stuff, but even my daughter has Batman stuff. It goes across gender and age lines.
Yeah, and then there's like a 10-way tie for second place.
Exactly.
Okay, let's see. We got Chris who wants to know, hey, how many of the comics in this new top 100 greatest list did you read? I'm about half. This is when it was cool.com put out this top 100, what do they call it? Top 100 comics, comic book runs, single issues, and graphic novels of all time. So they took every kind of comic, put them in the hopper, and said, okay, what's the best of all these ways that comics come out?
Oh, wow.
So I thought it would be fun to go through it a little bit. I don't know if we're going to do all 100 or not. But
sure. I've not even seen this, so I don't.
So we can go over, hey, I read it. I agree. I own it. Haven't read it. Like, I don't know. Or I read it, and it's not even close to being as high up or as low as it should be.
I understand how judging things works.
Do you understand how to express your opinion? I don't want you to hold back, Kyle.
Episode 526, Drew. Come on now.
Kyle, finally, let's go. Number one is Batman: The Dark Knight Returns. Yes.
Can't argue. It's phenomenal.
Own it multiple ways. Read it a million times. Agree. Sandman. Yes. I've read it, own it, love it.
I've never done it.
Okay. So that's number 2. We're at number 2, and you've already been stumped.
Number 2 of the greatest comics ever, and it never seemed like my thing. I always heard great things, everything people said. I was like, it sounds great. Yeah. Nah.
Not for me. Watchmen, number 3. Got it, love it.
Oh, yeah.
Kingdom Come. This is one that I own.
Yep.
Haven't read.
Oh, yeah, I read it. I love Kingdom Come.
Okay. I have not read this yet, so I cannot judge it. So I've been stumped at number 4.
Well, there you go.
Number 5, Fables.
Nope.
Read some. Didn't love it. Thought it was okay. So it's 5? All right.
Yeah.
Number 6, Why the Last Man?
Own most of them. One of my favorites of all time.
Yeah.
I overpay for single issues just to have them.
I'd put this up there with Watchmen and Dark Knight.
I would have it above Kingdom Come.
I would have it above Sandman.
I can say that, but having not read Sandman, I would be just a D-bag for Sandman.
Yeah, that's true. Number 7, another one I love, Preacher. Also own it, love it, read it multiple times. Also think it should be up there above Sandman.
Yep. Not me. It missed my age range, and it's not been one of those go back and gets, but I probably should.
Let's see. Number 8, All-Star Superman. I own it, haven't read it.
Don't own it, haven't read it. But Superman isn't super easy for me. I mean, I'm not attracted to... I'm not drawn to Superman necessarily.
May have read like the first issue, and I just never finished it for whatever reason. Let's see. Number 9, Saga of the Swamp Thing. I read
Alan Moore Swamp Thing, yeah.
Yeah, a long, long time ago. The Alan Moore era.
Yeah.
I read this a long time ago. Not all of it, and it never connected with me like it did with everyone else critically.
I read it through a big collected edition that I really, really, really enjoyed. Thought it was great.
Number 10, Marvels. This is a Kurt Busiek, Alex Ross book. Before Astro City, I guess. Is that right?
Nope. Yeah.
Or after? That's
1994.
94, so I guess that's around. Yeah, that's before Astro City, I think. So I never read this.
Yeah, me either.
Number 11 is Mouse. I own it, haven't read it.
Nothing. Nope.
Number 12, Fantastic Four, the Lee and Kirby era, number 1 through 102. Yeah, I probably haven't read something that was reprinted. So, some of the early Galactus stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't read comics that old.
Yeah, I've read just for fun like that first appearance of Doctor Doom and some of the same Silver Surfer and Galactus stuff.
Something that's been in a Dollar True Believer or something like that. I've probably reread it.
But I don't gravitate towards Fantastic Four either.
Number 13, Amazing Spider-Man is Amazing Fantasy 15 through Amazing Spider-Man number 100. Now, Bob, I know, has read all of these. Our old buddy Bob, our old co-host. I have not read those. I've read some of them. They're very dense.
Yeah.
And they're good. I just haven't plowed through them all.
Yeah, I like the Friendly Neighborhood stuff. I've dinked and dunked in there, but I have in no way, shape, or form sat down and read through 101 books or whatnot.
No. Uncanny X-Men, Chris Claremont's run, 94 to 279. Holy moly. No. Read couple.
Days of Future Past, Phoenix Saga, Sentinel stuff. I've read a bunch of stuff, picked and chosen, but I've never gone through more than like 40 at a time, I wouldn't say.
Right. Bone at number 15, no.
Nope.
Batman Year One, rank 16, yes. Great, loved it.
Same here, good. We haven't talked Hush. I would put Hush above Year One.
Okay, really?
Yeah.
Captain America Ed Brubaker run, the first 50 issues, ranked 17. No, never read it.
Nope, me either.
Astro City's first volume comes in at 18, so second Kurt Busiek already. Good for him.
Yeah.
Yes, loved it. Of course, it's great, fantastic.
I leave Astro City to you, sir.
Batman: The Killing Joke comes in at number 19, one of my favorites as well. I'm surprised this isn't higher.
Yeah, I own a third print. I love it.
Back when prints were, I think third print's probably still valuable, isn't it?
Yeah, it's still got great value. I think I own a third and a seventh, if I remember correctly.
Number 20, The Walking Dead.
Yeah. Phenomenal, especially now that you look at how it's ended and it as a whole. And I have read every single issue, including Governor specials and flip flop, this, that, and the other.
Have you read the BKV Walking Dead?
No, I didn't.
Set in China. I beat you. I win.
Yay.
Better fan.
I believe this says Robert Kirkman.
That's true.
Walking Dead.
True.
So just FYI.
You did. You win. Okay, Daredevil, Frank Miller's run. Some. Didn't read all of it.
A few of them. I've maybe read 3 or 4 books out of that.
Jonathan Hickman's Fantastic Four run.
Again, you're not going to hook me with Fantastic Four.
No. Ultimate Spider-Man, missed it. The 111 issues, Bendis era. I missed out on that. I read the first volume in trade, but I never went back and caught up on everything. It's great.
I read some with a friend who wanted me to dip into the Ultimates universe, so I read a trade or 2 at the beginning. And it was neat, but I didn't stick.
Yeah. New Teen Titans, Wolfman and Perez era.
I've read so many of these.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking tons and tons of books, and I'm currently trying to collect everything from New Teen Titans, and Tales of the Teen Titans, and all that stuff. I've got, a short box and a half of everything there, and I've read about everything I've got just for fun. They're all over the place. There's some really bad, and there's some really good.
Yeah, Judas Contract is always one people draw it out as one of the greatest.
Yeah.
Story arcs.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think it was only like 3-issue story arc or something like that. Miracle Man, Marvel Man, the original Eclipse version of this that came out. I love this thing in 80s. I believe it came out early 80s. And tracked down most of them. And enjoyed it. It's kind of making a resurgence when Marvel got the license back. But yeah, this is definitely a quintessentially great Alan Moore book.
It's a hole in mine. Never even tried to go back to it.
Yep. 26 Hellblazer. This was a 300 issue run at Vertigo, which I maybe read an issue, so I missed out on this. Number 27 is Planetary from Wildstorm, which I had never heard of until just right now.
I know, yeah. Surprise.
Yeah, so this is a hole in mine. 28 is Saga.
Love it. Read them all.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see where it will end up when they all come out.
I'm surprised it's this low.
Yep, I'm with you there.
Long Halloween from Batman. Also above Hush, Kyle.
Yeah.
Comes in at rank 29.
Really liked it. Loved Long Halloween. Really good.
Scott Pilgrim. It was a great series.
The movie, and then I've dipped in for some little stuff, but I don't think I've read everything.
I read this after I watched the movie.
Same here.
And that rounds out the top 30, and I think that's a good place to stop. Otherwise, we'll just go on for ever. How your first take on that list? Feel good about how much of it you agree with?
Yeah, I've got a few things in there. There's obviously some things, holes, and I am aware that classic Spider-Man should be something I should have read by now. But yeah, that's not gonna be a lot of neat stuff in there. A lot of things I missed. Seeing Sandman at number 2 makes me think, well, I should probably just do that.
Yeah.
Holy crap! I'm apparently crazy for thinking Hush is really super good because it's nowhere on anything.
Well, it wasn't in the top 30. I don't know.
No.
We didn't finish the rest, so you never know. Hey, let's take a look at the rest of the July numbers that finally came out.
Oh, crap. I didn't even think about numbers, yeah.
Yeah. So we looked at the top 10 last week. We're excited about that. So I'm going to pop over to our good buddies over at comichron.com and see how close we were on our guesstimates. I believe Kyle had the top 6 over 100,000.
Mm-hmm.
I had the top 5 over 100,000, and I win.
Come on,
yep.
Shenanigans. I call shenanigans.
Yep. Curse of the White Knight was ranked 6th and did not quite cover the spread. Only sold 90,000.
Come on.
I'm excited to see that our good buddies Walking Dead did finish over 100,000.
Hey, 111,000. Very nice.
Yep. But House of X and Powers of X, oh my.
Jeez,
big numbers from them.
Jeez, yeah. Cranking them out at $6 a piece. Good gracious.
Those are not returnable numbers either.
Yeah.
Which in my mind, I give Walking Dead a nudge up to the 3rd slot because They're only a couple thousand below Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
They're returnable, so that means they've reduced this number by the 10 to 15% of returnable copies that you're allowed.
And there are nobody returning them.
And there is no one returning 193. In fact, they could have. Yeah, that didn't happen. So I think that's stupid to even list that there. I mean, like when it's returnable and there's like a 1 in 1,000 variant or something. Yeah, some of those are coming back to you, buddy.
Yeah.
But with Walking Dead, they're not coming back.
Yeah. The attrition with which Black Cat #2, holy crap, went from 260,000 down to 83, almost 70% attrition. So some super inflated #1 numbers on that.
Yeah. Batman Who Laughs finishes up, right? That's the last of it?
Yes.
And it's solid at 88,000. Spawn, its 299th issue is at 60,000. That a surprise?
It's going to... Yeah, because it went down a little bit, actually, from 298.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. I think. Where's that? Yeah. Went down just a little bit from 298. So, doing some stuff. I thought it would keep going up and up and up until it hit 300. Now, granted, 300 we know it's going to be astronomical numbers-wise, but I thought it'd just keep going up.
Yeah. What else jumps out at you as you look down that list?
Let's see here.
There's 40,000 of that special edition Rick Grimes 192.
Oh, yeah, the special edition, yeah.
Yeah, 38,000 copies of it.
38,713. That's kind of cool.
That's a pretty good number, right?
For a quote-unquote second print, and like I said, we were worried about the fact that they can just...
As long as they don't offer it
forever. Again. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if that's it, that's a really great number, I think. We got an appearance of one of those New Mutants edition, New Mutants edition, facsimile editions, and heavy sales.
Yeah, 37,000 for that. That's pretty cool.
I guess that's the one it would be, right? That's Deadpool, right?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Exactly.
Makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just found money. They've got that book just sitting there, digitized. Yeah. They can crank that thing out as much as they want.
Exactly. Throw a couple bucks to what's his face or Liefeld and just be done.
I don't even know. Do they need to do that? It's existing material.
Probably not at all.
Giant Size X-Men also did 30,000. Yeah, folks. I hope you like facsimile editions because you're going to see a lot of them.
You're going to see a lot, yeah. Giant Size X-Men facsimile edition, that, yeah. Superman Up in the Sky. Was that the reprint of the Walmarts?
Yes.
Yeah. Another 28,000 on those for a double dipping.
I thought they'd be bigger, but
yeah.
I think they would have been if they would have came out day and date.
Yeah, completely agree.
Nothing else?
I'm just looking like Paper Girls 30 was the last one, right?
Yep.
Small uptick for that one, ended just under 20,000 for the final Paper Girls. So.
Wow. I do like that they broke out the cardstock amounts.
Yeah.
So the cardstocks didn't sell that well.
Huh.
And
people didn't want to pay that extra $1.
People did not want to pay the extra $1. In my mind, there's some scarcity there, right?
Yeah, and they should be in great condition.
So, like that Nightwing 62, there's less than 10,000 of them. It's a cardstock variant edition.
Mm-hmm.
That should have value, I would think. But it doesn't.
But alas.
What am I missing?
Yeah. I do not know. I would have thought the same thing. People just see it as a gimmick.
And the only reason we're getting to see the individualized sales on that is because there's a price difference.
Yeah, exactly, because it's got a different SKU for a different price.
So that's giving it a different SKU number, and therefore Diamond releases the sales data differently.
Yep.
And there it could be. I mean, it is interesting. I would like to see maybe all of those DC books together, and then kind of see like what's the breakdown. Who sells more B variants than anybody else?
Mm-hmm.
You know. Now I don't know if you could say that unilaterally with this exercise, but you can.
But then when you get in, you get into high ratio variants and stuff. So then, so you get, if you get numbers on like the 1 in 100s, 1 in 50s, then you'd know who's spending a lot of money as far as retailers. A lot of retailers going big on things.
Yeah. So I guess if you look at, you should be able to look at some of the card stocks. Like Batman's card stock sold 30,000.
Yeah.
Probably number one, I'm guessing. And its actual comic sold. What did an actual comic sell? 70,000. So that's 100,000.
I was gonna say, you add those together and it's selling quite great.
So that's weird though, right? Because then you have 74 that doesn't have a card stock.
Mm-hmm.
It only sold 78,000. But it also already had it had a B cover.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. That's weird.
Yeah, that's a strange thing.
Yeah.
So actually, if you would have pushed, I guess if you push some of the card stock numbers with the A cover numbers,
it looks like they.
I mean, if you
they
added
sold
them
well.
together, the DC would be doing much better as far as rankings wise. But you don't because of the price difference. If I'm reading that right, I think I am.
That's what I get out of it, because if you look at look and see the price difference in them, you can tell those are card stocks, and I'm assuming you have to add those numbers together to get the total.
Yeah. All right. Anything else pop out at you?
I try to find some other number ones. I can't find them.
What?
Jeez, I should have picked up Gears of War Pop just for fun. There's like 1,800 of them is all it sold.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Jeez. Yeah, some little numbers and stuff down here that Huh.
Well, if we're finished, let's pop over to the FOC.
Of course, the FOC is the final order cutoff. It is our last opportunity to add some things to our order. To see what maybe we get a little bit of art at the last second, perhaps some FOC exclusive stuff, all kinds of neat stuff here, there, and everywhere on that. So, of course, we get those from Cowabunga Comics. Eric curates them and sends them out to us. He was goodly enough to send them this week for us, and he pulls about 4 items to the top of the list, things that he sees some heat on, some intrigue, likes the cover art of, or just things that are being talked about a lot. So the things that he's talking about are Riddler, Year of the Villain #1, a Mikhail Yanin cover, the regular one on that one. We have, of course, Trees, 3 Fates #1, a Warren Ellis book from Image Comics. There is Daredevil 11, of course, our good boy Chip Zdarsky on that one, and we're just talking about the cover A there. And the Chastity #1, 25 copy Campbell carved dressed tint FOC incentive. A lot of words there, holy cow. But it is, of course, a J. Scott Campbell book there. But a little bit of cash on that one. Is going to be $45 to reach for that one. So, Drew, let's drill down into the actual FOC and see if there's anything we think we need there. So let's start with the Dark Horse stuff at the top.
No.
Nothing in dark. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not finding anything
No.
at all either. So down to DC. Of course, we got our Year of the Villain stuff heating up here. Man, that's a bad cover.
Which one's that?
Batman and the Outsiders 5 variant.
Not good, huh?
No. Let's see here. Catwoman. We got card stock coming in from Catwoman, of course.
Yeah, this one I was tempted on when it.
Yeah, I was gonna say we
released.
got card stock and we got Art Germ and a really good cover. Looks like the homage to the Michelle Pfeiffer Batman. Really cool.
Yeah, that's a tempting one.
Yeah. And of course, we talked about the Riddler, Year of the Villain #1. Of course, Mark Russell writing that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Did we know that?
I did. Does that pique your interest, sir?
Does now, yeah. Mikhail Yanin and Mark Russell, sure.
Yeah.
I don't like the $5 price tag, but
Now, had they put it on a lenticular cover for $5, would that be okay?
well, then, yeah, that's true.
Anything else in DC, sir, other than our Jenny Frison variant on Wonder Woman?
No, that's good.
All right, let's see what we have in IDW down here. Of course, Canto, a very hot book, #4 of 6, continuing to come out. Now, Napoleon Dynamite is coming out in comic form, continuing the book that we had, or the movie we had so many years ago. Probably 10 years ago?
Yeah.
More than that? No, more than that. My goodness, I can't even remember.
90s.
Yep. But Napoleon Dynamite is back for his senior year.
Maybe it wasn't 90s. I thought it was, but maybe it wasn't.
Man, now I gotta look this up. It's gonna drive me nuts.
Yeah, when did that come out? Napoleon Dynamite is back, and senior year is going to be flippin' sweet. He's dating Deb, training at the new dojo, and his best friend Pedro is student body president. That's awesome.
Yep. Napoleon Dynamite 2004, so 15 years ago.
2004. Wow. Impeach Pedro.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. I'm actually, that's so sad. I am actually interested in it.
Heck yeah, it's been so long.
That's so sad. Should I get the photo variant though?
Tempting. We also have Pandemic #1 from IDW. War is brewing in America. A shadow government is preparing to launch purity bombs for ethnic cleansing. A small group of scientists and former Spec Ops shooters stand in their way. Join the resurgence, save the world. Pandemica, which I guess I said it wrong, by New York Times bestseller Jonathan Mayberry, who we know from V-Wars and Black Panther Doom War. I do like post-apocalyptic, so this could be something interesting. And that's... Oh, wait. We got another #1 from IDW. My goodness. Oh, never mind. Starcadia Quest.
Never mind.
Yeah. Starcadia Universe is expanding, so apparently we've already had Starcadia Quest before. I thought I remembered seeing it before, but I don't know. Interesting. All right. Image Comics. Let's see what we got there.
Beauty 29. I'm excited. Sad to see it's coming to an end, but I love this book. Man-Eaters. They're limping towards the finish line as well.
What's their final?
12.
12. So penultimate here with 11. Reaver number 2 going to a second print as well, so that's awesome. All right. Anything else in Image?
I don't think so.
All right. Let's head on down to Marvel. Continuing with the month that is Carnage-based, Absolute Carnage, Symbiote of Vengeance, number 1.
We get another J. Scott Campbell cover for Black Cat, number 4.
Yeah.
It's another good, solid one. J. Scott Campbell goodness, man. You can't really beat it.
I was going to say, especially when you can get them for not a ton of money. You might as well just get them. Stack them up. People like them.
Yeah. I mean, I really think they'll have resale value.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a Todd Knock variant for Crazy number 1, which is a new Jerry Duggan and Frank Tierra book, but I can't see the cover on it, so I don't know what it looks like.
It looks crazy. It's got a bunch of people baked into a pie and a big giant clown about to eat it. It looks creepy.
Right, but that's not the Todd Knock variant.
That's the regular variant.
Yeah, which is
regular.
Also crazy, but yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy Prodigal Son number 1. Don't miss that if you're into it. King Thor. Oh my goodness, we're starting a new King Thor now. Of course, the Jason Aaron Esad Ribic run.
Yep. I already have plenty of these on order, but just in case, you missed it. Moon Knight Annual number 1.
Ah, yes.
An annual with a series gone. I said I liked it. I said I liked this trend.
Uh-huh.
So let's keep this coming. Along with the wraparound cover and the connecting variant. Get them all. Maybe Marvel will say, oh, people love their Moon Knight.
We should put out a 15th volume.
I'm sure it'll catch on this time.
Jeez. Marvel Tales Black Panther number 1. And that's, of course, the 80th. That's composing a few different things. Avengers 87, Jungle Action 6 and 7, and Black Panther 1. It seems like it's just collecting those things in there for $8. Or if you really want to dive deep, you can pay $160 for the Jen Bartel Virgin variant. Jeez. Powers of X is hot. Get it and keep jumping on. People seem to love it.
Yeah. You feel bad for setting it out?
No. Yeah, probably. I mean, for the sales version of it, absolutely.
But you wouldn't want to read it.
Not necessarily. I'm interested in Star Wars Age of Republic Supreme Leader Snoke number 1. Of course, everybody wanted to know more about Snoke. When Last Jedi came out, we learned absolutely nothing about Snoke when that came out. So perhaps this is our only chance to learn a little bit of something about Emperor Supreme Leader Snoke. All right, anything else in Marvel, sir?
No.
Boom.
We got a
Once
fourth...
and Future going to a 4th print.
Isn't that crazy?
And it's another bit of art. Not Dan Mora on this one, but Jacob Rebelka on this one. So, man, you got to get them.
You think you buy the 4th printing?
It's different. You might as well. At this point, they're probably going to do a lot of prints of it, so just keep them going. Just collect them all. I ordered Something Is Killing Children. Oh, or no, that we talked about that the other week. This is the 2nd print. Oh, that's cool. It's going to 2nd print. Nice. James Tinney in the 4th, of course. All right, down to Dynamite, where there are all kinds of options for chastity.
Yeah, well, all kinds. My goodness.
Yeah. But, of course, whatever you got to do to get that J. Scott Campbell.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. So I've got not a whole lot that I necessarily need to add on this. Yep,
things to keep an eye on. I gotta make a decision on a couple of those cardstock things.
There you go.
And how many more? How many Moon Knight annuals do I really need?
Do you really need and desire?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Of course, we just like to go over our FOC here. Just make sure we don't miss out on something. Make sure we catch those FOC exclusive things and anything that's catching fire that we can grab at the last minute we want to do. Of course, if your LCS doesn't do FOC, you can reach out to Cowabunga and they can hook you up with any of this kind of stuff because they taught us all about what the FOC is about, and we of course love to just add to our order now relentlessly because of it.
We don't know why, but we must.
Yeah, no kidding.
Let's shoot over to Cover Price's Top 10. That's COVRPRICE.com, coverprice.com. They track eBay sales and let us know what's going on. Topping the list this week is House of X number 2 with the Putri connecting variant. Sold 46 copies with a top raw sale of $25. Coming in at number 2, my boy, Volume 1, Moon Knight number 1. Rumor is there's an MCU appearance coming up. So it sold 61 copies with a top sale of $235.
I'm looking at that book right now. What do I do with it? I paid.
If you're not me,
I paid $8 for it 6 months ago.
Right.
It's in good condition.
And it's selling. Let's see what it's selling for on average. Shoot over here to the sold list. I mean, it's not blowing up, dude. It's 14.
Nothing too crazy, so hold on until we get an actual announcement. Yeah. 14 plus shipping, yeah.
19, 20. Nothing's happened yet.
Yep.
I mean, this is the one to have because you're not going to be able to afford Werewolf 32.
Yeah.
With the actual first appearance. So, I mean, if you can go back and get that one, great, but that's like a $600 book now. So that's a tough one to call. I'm just 61 copies of Moon Knight selling the first issue in 1 week. I think is pretty cool.
Absolutely, especially for a book that's currently not in print.
Yep,
or currently doesn't have a book.
X-Force number 2, the second full appearance of Deadpool, first appearance of Kane, who is rumored to be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. X-Force number 2. There you go. Miracle Man Mr. Miracle number 5, the second appearance of Big Barda. Sold about 28 copies with a top sale of $200 for a graded copy. Spawn number 1, selling Resurgence. It sold 52 copies this week with a top sale of $120 for a graded copy. And there are millions of copies of this out there, folks. Millions. You can find them.
Oh, yeah.
Absolute Carnage number 1, Stegman Premier variant. Sweet variant cover. Limited in sales and it's selling for $60. The Boys number 1 still selling because the Amazon show is blowing up. 51 copies sold this week. $375 for a graded copy.
Yeah.
House of X number 2, a character variant. 24 copies with a top sale of $25. We did miss out on this.
Mm-hmm. But what I'm reading is you're getting flooded with a lot of this, so sell them now because it'll tank pretty early.
Yeah. Absolute Carnage number 1, Del Auto. $35 raw on average, sold about 60 copies this week. Your Thor number 1, first appearance of Jane Foster's Thor. Kyle's sitting on like a half a dozen of these copies. He doesn't even put one up yet for some reason. But $262 for a graded copy.
Yeah, no kidding. I should have got it graded.
Might want to send one of them off to get a 9.8 back.
Mm-hmm.
Anything on there that's of interest?
That's it. Just need to see some stuff there. I didn't even think about like some of the X-Force. I didn't even hear about the Kane stuff. And
yeah,
hearing rumors of Moon Knight is, of course, very cool.
That is very cool to me. I enjoy that very, very, very much.
Yeah.
Well, if thoughts, let's slide over to the old sneak peek then. Finish this baby off.
There you go. Of course, the sneak peek. We head over to previewsworld.com, find new releases, find August 25th, 2019. And Drew, let's start where we'd love to start. Let's start in Image. Of course, Pretty Violent number 1 is no relation to Pretty Deadly. We have the series premiere of Gamma Ray. So if you liked I Hate Fairyland, you'll like Pretty Violent.
Fair Lady Number 5, it's a great book. Love it. Criminal number 7, great book. I love it. Outpost Zero, really great book. I love that one too. Its 12th issue's out. I think that might be it. I might be taking a break after that.
Okay.
So even though Walking Dead's gone, Saga's on hiatus, Image still got a lot of great books.
Saga Compendium number 1, $60, issues 1 through 54.
Okay, so are they squeezing all 54 issues in that?
Yep, 1 compendium, 54 issues.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, that could mean they're
Halfway done.
maybe. Yeah, that could mean there's more to come.
Yeah. Anything else at Image?
I'm glad to see Snot Girl back.
Oh, yeah.
Me and some tween girls really enjoy that book.
you people in your Instagram accounts love following these fashionistas.
Uh-huh.
All right, down to the Dark Horses.
Is Straight a Wando book? No.
Wando's on art. Wando is doing art. Carlos Giffoni on the writing. In the far future, a military-industrial complex reigns over all humanity and actively destroys distant alien worlds. The galaxy's only hope can be found through an unlikely pair, an astral-projected cat named Lou and his lover owner, Kiara. Trading 9 lives for the well-beings of billions, their revolt is a battle for love, friendship, compassion, and the soul of humanity.
Say lover and owner? Is that what you
Loving.
said?
I said loving owner.
Oh, okay. God dang. I was like, where are we going with that?
But do you want a cat-led book? Here you go.
Yeah. You cat person? Here you go. There's that Transformers 84-0 that we highlighted in a previous FOC.
Mm-hmm.
We're excited about. Gotta have it.
Oh, of course.
That's pretty much all I had up there.
All right. Let's move on.
Remind me what Batman 3... Okay, first Ra's al Ghul, Batman 232, Facsimile Edition.
Yep.
I'm curious to see how its sales are compared to some of the Marvel Facsimile, and if we're trending towards... I don't know, if we can get some predictable sales out of... projections out of this. Like, if it's a key first appearance, you're going to sell 30,000 of this.
Yeah.
Plus. Or if, depending on if it's X number of years old, decades old, and a golden age book or something, and versus something from the 80s, how hard is it going to be? I'm curious if we can get some trends out of this sales-wise to figure out what the market wants.
Yeah.
And take advantage of that.
There you go. Black Mask, Year of the Villain number 1. Drew, you got that on order?
No.
Tom Taylor writing.
You told me about that, too.
Cully Hamner on art with a Mitch Geralt's cover.
Isn't it Cully Hammer?
It says Hamner, so I'm simply reading what we're being told. And it's Hamner on the front as well. The actual comic.
Huh. Has it always been Cully Hamner?
There's an Army Hammer. He's an actor.
True.
Superman Year 1, number 2 of 3. Jimmy Olsen, number 2. Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen. Matt Fraction, of course, writing this. Steve Lieber, art.
Fun first issue. I enjoyed it.
There you go. Got a bunch of knockoff Rogues Gallery, it looks like, chasing him there.
And I kind of liked Superman Year 1.
Excellent.
Not the price.
Yeah, no kidding. $8 a pop. All right, down to Marvel. We're talking about, in FOC about Carnage versus Deadpool coming out. Of course, when we first saw this, of course, Matthew Rosenberg. It doesn't look like a very fun Deadpool. It looks like just a hack-em slash-em Carnage Deadpool, but we shall see. So that small run of Hawkeye that Kelly Thompson had.
Yeah.
We have Hawkeye, GN, trade paperback, Private Eye. That is going to be collecting that Hawkeye issues 1 through 12.
For $13?
For $13.
That's pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Powers of X. Seems to be stuff happening in these Powers of X books as well, so you might want to jump in on that. I'm clueless on this book. I set it out and don't really know what's going on. Mm-hmm. Some time travel stuff, some reincarnation stuff happening. I don't really know.
Yeah, some people that have lived multiple lives back in. Yeah. A lot of crazy stuff going on. Superior Spider-Man 10. Christos Gage. Did you read the one with the Superior Foes?
Which one?
No, that was a different one. Never mind. That was back in Nick Spencer's main run.
Yeah. It was great. Let's see. We've got a X-Men Grand Design trade paperback, which is really expensive for a book that's only 2 issues long. So I'm trying to figure out why. $29.99.
Collecting X-Men Grand Design Extinction 1 and 2, plus the classic Uncanny X-Men from 1981-68 recolor.
I guess. So, well, I mean, those are oversized comics, but I don't know. That's pretty pricey.
It seems a little bit much, yeah. I don't know what a Treasury edition, if they do anything special with it or not, but oh well.
Yeah, maybe that has something to do with it.
Anything else in Marvel, sir?
Nah.
Nothing else in Marvel?
No. I'm sorry, no.
Okay, let's head on down to our smaller publishers. Skimming through Dynamite, not seeing anything. Down into Boom.
We got Avant-Gardes, Faithless, and Smooth Criminals. Mm-hmm. All ongoings. Well, ongoings until the series is over. So mini-series, maxi-series, whatever.
Yeah.
That I'm really enjoying all 3 of these. And they're very different, but very fun. And it's cool they're all coming out the same week.
That is a good-looking $150 Nightwing statue there. Lee.
Jim Lee doing... Oh, that is pretty nice.
Yeah.
5,000 of them, huh?
Mm-hmm. It's a dope-looking statue, that's for darn sure. From Action Lab Comics, we find Adventure Finders by Rob Espinosa. Clary is as bubbly as Barbie, noble as She-Ra, and as violent as any anime warrior princess you've ever seen. Young Claret and her friends Jolf the Wizard and Ariar the Healer are tossed directly into a full-scale battle of thousands of orcs, beasts, and ogres attacking the gigantic convoy of the noble Lord Justinius as they prepare to take up their post guarding Clariet's hometown of Good River. When all seem lost, an unexpected ally appears. It's a very D&D party-esque.
Yeah.
You talked about bad reception, correct?
No, I don't think I did.
On our FOC, we talked about that from Aftershock. It's the celebrity wedding of the century, set in an undisclosed remote location with no access to Wi-Fi, cell phone reception, or the outside world. But the dream wedding becomes a nightmare when one by one the guests are brutally slaughtered by a serial killer who brands his victims with a hashtag. This is, of course, Wando, and this is Aftershock. I do like Aftershock, and I occasionally like Wando.
Yeah, he's got good style. Second issue of Dead End Kids.
Cookie and Kids #1 from Antarctic, a all-ages adventure about a girl and her dog.
Headless #1 was one that I was excited about because it was 1987 and had some cool teenage angsty murder stuff going on in Salem, Massachusetts, so it seemed pretty cool to me.
Color work reminds me of they're kind of aping, looks like
Paper Girls, for sure.
Thank you. Yes, exactly. I don't know why I blanked when I was going to say that.
Looks like Cliff Chang's work.
From American Mythology, we have The Land That Time Forgot, 1975, issue 1, from Marv Wolfman. It looks like, are we reprinting? Journeying with us back to the time of the groovy era of the 70s when magazine-sized graphic novels roamed the earth and fans thrilled to the Edgar Rice Burroughs film, The Land That Time Forgot, in theaters. Tyler Bowen is lost in a world of prehistoric terrors. We already know all this. The incredible story is collected here in beautiful black and white for the first time in over 4 decades. So we are simply taking The Land That I Forgot and putting it in a comic book. I don't know if that's a big deal or not.
Yeah.
Nor do I know how to say Konnichiwa Kaiju-kun #1 from Lilac. Prepare for a J-pop-zilla blend of retro manga delights. Japan, the early 1970s, the idol phenomenon has begun. And the competition between talents in the industry is very intense. One top group, a trio of sisters, is eager for promised fame and fortune, but first must follow an odd order from their CEO, join the Earth Defense Force, and Titanic hero Ultra 38 to protect Earth from gigantic monsters. That is Konnichiwa Kaiju-kun 1.
We got Psycho List #1 from Black Box Comics. This is a Kevin Griveau book with Jonathan Lau doing the art and the cover, which I like. After a former FBI agent becomes a therapist, guess you can do that. Easy transition. He has a hard time staying out of his patients' lives, taking on their problems as his own. The FBI calls him back in for a special case that requires his unique skill set. He tried to get out, but they pulled him back in.
Planet Caravan #1 from Scout Comics from its Binge imprint. Scout released a world premiere issue followed by the entire story a few months later in one volume. Is what they're apparently doing in the Binge things. So that's an interesting way to do things. Jason is the last of his army on the surface of an enormous planet with his massive perpetual mecha suit, a sentient death machine called Love.
And, you can get people to sample issue 1s.
Yep.
And you can get people to buy OGNs and trades. What you can't get people to do is buy issues 3, 4, 5, and 6 of an ongoing. Issues. So it does make a lot of sense to drop an oversized issue 1.
Yep.
Get them hooked, and then drop the rest of the story in an oversized trade, finishing it off. It's not bad. Not a bad amount.
Yeah, I'm curious.
But don't you really have to give enough time between the drop of the book, the initial issue, and the solicitation cycle of the rest, so that they can actually have read it for it to make difference? Or I don't know. Like, if it's too close, are they going to commit that? They might as well just commit to a whole trade.
Yeah.
Should have done it that way. I don't know.
All right, Drew. I think that's about it. So this is the point of the podcast where I say, what's your pick of the week? What's the one thing to make you run into your LCS, grab that book, and set it aside, because you can make a little bit of money out of it.
It's the book from Scout Comics this week. It is Headless #1, written by Alexander Bonchita, with art by Robert Ahmad. It's the 80s set crime book.
Ah, very cool, very cool. I liked that Aftershock book. What was the darn thing?
Bad Reception, the Wando?
Yeah, Bad Reception. I don't know my alphabet well enough to find it. There we go. Yeah, Bad Reception #1 from Wando. I think that's worth a shot. Sounds like an interesting little read, and I'm always keen on grabbing an Aftershock book if I can. So, very neat stuff. So, if you think you found a different bit of gold inside this week's releases, let us know. Send a letter into the podcast via Instagrams or Facebook, Twitter, Gmail. All these things can be found at comicsfunprofit.com. Yeah, if you disagree with something, or maybe we missed something really cool, let us know. Be part of the podcast. Send in your feedback to us before next week. We thank you so much for going along with us. So for Drew and for myself, see ya.